Nigerian economy. First, let's give you the following updates at the moment. At the global level, the confirmed cases are 2.223 million, 240, and 152,228 deaths, with 567,279 recoveries at the moment. In Africa, the confirmed cases are 18,769, with 972 deaths and 4,285 recoveries. For Nigeria, the confirmed cases are 442, with 13 deaths and 152 people discharged. Now let's get to the developing stories. First, the former Bank of England Governor, Mr. McCartney, in his latest op-ed article, believes post-COVID-19 brings an opportunity for the global economy to value humanity. According to him, value will change in the post-COVID world. On one level, that's obvious. Valuations in global financial markets have imploded, with many suffering their sharpest declines in decades. More fundamentally, the traditional drivers of value have been shaken. New ones will gain prominence, and there's a possibility that the gulf between what markets value and what people value will close. Speaking further, Mr. Carney stated that deeper concerns include the extent to which economies are experiencing supply destruction, not mere disruption. How many once viable companies will be permanently impaired? And how many people will lose their jobs and their attachment to the labor force? The answers to these questions, more than the scale of any short-term plunge in GDP, will be the true measures of the effectiveness of the response of governments, companies, and banks. He also made the following submissions. First, the crisis is likely to accelerate the fragmentation of the global economy. Until a vaccine has been found and widely applied, travel restrictions will remain. Even afterwards, local resilience will be prized over global efficiency. Second, much of the enterprise value of companies will be taken up by extraordinary financial support and destroyed by lost cash flow. Their higher debt will increase the riskiness of the underlying equity and weigh on the capacity for growth. The financial relationship between the state and the private sector has already deepened dramatically. What will the exit look like, and how long will it take? Will the state remain enmeshed in commerce and so restrain private dynamism? Third, the searing experience of simultaneous health and economic crisis will change how companies balance risk and resilience. We are entering a world in which firms will be expected to prepare for black swans by valuing anti-fragility, as the writer Nassim Nicholas Taleb called them, and planning for catastrophe. The financial sector learned these lessons the hard way during the global financial crisis, which is why banks still have enough capital to be part of the solution. Which companies will operate with minimal liquidity, stretch supply chains, and token contingency plans? Which governments will rely on global markets to address local crises? Fourth, people's economic narratives will change. After decades of risk being downloaded onto individuals, the bill has arrived, and people do not know how to pay it. Entire populations are experiencing the fears of the unemployed and sensing the anxiety that comes with inadequate or inaccessible health care. These lessons will not soon be forgotten. They will have lasting consequences for sectors that rely on aggressive borrowing by households, a booming housing market, and a vibrant gig economy. Giving further insights, he stated that this points to a final, deeper issue. As the philosopher Michael Sandel has argued, in recent decades, subtly but relentlessly, we have been moving from a market economy to a market society. Increasingly, to be valued, an asset or activity has to be in a market. He cited the example of Amazon, one of the world's most valuable companies, yet the Amazon region appears on no ledger until it is stripped of its foliage and converted to farmland. The price of everything is becoming the value of everything. This COVID-19 crisis, from his view, could help reverse that relationship so that public values help shape private value. When pushed, societies have prioritized health first and foremost, and then looked to deal with economic consequences. In this crisis, we know we need to act as an interdependent community, not independent individuals. So the values of economic dynamism and efficiency have been joined by those of solidarity, fairness, responsibility, and compassion. All this, according to him, amounts to a test of stakeholder capitalism. When it's over, companies will be judged by what they did during the war, how they treated their employees, suppliers, and customers, by who shared and who boarded. Those are very incisive comments, interventions from Mr. Mark Carney, the former Bank of England governor. In other stories, American automaker Ford Motors says it will tap the debt markets to shore up its cash reserves as the coronavirus outbreak pummeled vehicle sales and halted production, resulting in an estimated loss of about $2 billion for the first quarter. The Dearborn, Michigan-based company, which lost its investment-grade status in March, said it has filed for a three-part unsecured debt offering but did not disclose the amount. Ford, which has drawn down over $15 billion to ride out the damage to its business from the pandemic, said it had to put up certain assets as security for the loans because it does not maintain an investment-grade status. It has suspended dividend for the quarter. The number 2 U.S. automaker had about $70 billion of assets as of December 31st, 2019, and about $30 billion in cash on its balance sheet as of April 9, 2020. Netflix Incorporated has increased the amount of money in its coronavirus emergency relief fund by $50 million. The leading streaming company is bringing the total for displaced production workers to $150 million, a company spokesman said today. Film and TV production has been shut down around the world as people shelter at home to help slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. The abrupt closures put hundreds of thousands of cast and crew members out of work. In March, Netflix announced it had established a $100 million fund to assist the hardest-hit workers on its own productions and others in areas where Netflix has a large production base. Some of the money is being allocated through non-profit groups that are helping the industry through the coronavirus crisis. The company so far has provided assistance in the United States, Canada, Britain, Italy, India, France, Mexico, Spain, Brazil, and the Netherlands. As the adoption of the European Union app for tracing COVID-19 patients gains momentum, 7 European countries have either formally supported the Pan-European Privacy-Preserving Proximity Tracing (PEPPT) initiative or tasked one of its members with developing a national app. German tech entrepreneur Chris Booth told Reuters. PEPPT has emerged as a leading proponent of the use of Bluetooth short-range communications between personal devices as a proxy for measuring the risk that a person infected with coronavirus can pass it on. A lot of larger countries have dedicated their app teams to build on top of what we're supplying, Booz, a co-initiator of PEPPT and founder of the business automation startup Arago, said in an interview. According to Time magazine, the remdesivir experimental drug that is being studied at the University Hospital Eppendorf in Hamburg, Germany, is providing some promising signs of the possibility of treating people infected with the novel coronavirus. The findings were revealed in an internal video discussion of the drug trial among students of University of Chicago faculty. The study included 125 people with COVID-19 infections, all of whom were treated with the remdesivir drug, which is not currently approved in the US for treating any disease. Of the 125 patients in the Chicago study, 113 had severe diseases, meaning they had difficulty breathing. Kathleen Molan, a professor of medicine at the university who is overseeing the trial, said most of the patients taking the drug had improved enough to be discharged, except for only 2 that died. Having a vaccine and drug at this time will really lift up economies and bring that possibilities that things will get back to normal. And that will be all for our Day 4 Phase 2 coverage of the Economics Discourse. You can visit our website, www.proshareng.com, to get more updates from our news stories and videos. You can also follow our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Don't forget, ProShare, Nigeria's leading financial information hub, has packaged for you a very incisive, informative platform for you to get all the information you need this period on how COVID-19 pandemic is impacting the market and the economy. Log on to proshareng.com/COVID-19 and you get all you need this period. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and stay safe.